So, I don't know how many of you have noticed this, but YouTube has this amazing channel called YouTube Movies. I'm sure everyone has actually. How can I be so silly? It's a really neat area of YouTube where you can rent or even purchase your favorite blockbuster movies such as Ford vs. Ferrari, Joker, Frozen 2, Parasite, and many of the other modern classics. However, my favorite part, there are hundreds upon thousands of free-to-watch movies available to watch with the support of YouTube ads. Honestly, if it were not for the original content that Netflix was smart to create, YouTube could have very likely dominated the online streaming genre altogether. However, for me, YouTube is my most preferred form of entertainment. When I am up late into the night through the week editing rise and fall videos, I've usually got something great and inspiring from YouTube playing in my office. And while you can find some all-time classics like the original Red Dawn, which was better in every way than the remake of Josh Peck on YouTube Movies for free, there are some movies that perhaps are free for a reason as well. Like, without watching these, I see Sea Level, which looks like a Finding Nemo ripoff. I see Snow Queen. Like, okay, if this wasn't made to be a blatant Frozen ripoff, then I don't know why it was made. And then there's titles such as I Am Dragon, 17 Miracles, Fred the Movie, whoa, that's on there, Ernest Goes to School. Wait, they got my boy Ernest on here for free? I had to check on that actually. However, for me, what first introduced me to YouTube Movies was the day that I was recommended Morgan Spurlock's 2004 classic, Super Size Me, in which he goes for an entire month on an all-McDonald's diet in order to help expose just how horrible the world of fast food was in the early 2000s. Hey guys, this is Editing Danny B, and unfortunately I'm not able to show this part of it, so kind of like back, if you remember a long time ago we had a video about the whole Fox and Digger thing. Well, copyright issues were kind of making me where I couldn't upload that in the full way that I wanted to. Unfortunately, I can't show these particular clips of the series, a documentary, Super Size Me. However, I'm not trying to use it in any bad way to those who might be seeing this after, so don't think that at all. I love the series and the documentary, what I keep calling it series. But I love it. I'm not trying to say anything bad, but yeah, we'll just move on from this. I'm sorry about that. Not that fast food is any better in 2020, but we'd sure like to think that fast food's improved some since 2004 when Spurlock exposed the secrets. YouTube Movies posted a documentary online on July 26, 2019, exposing even more eyes to Spurlock's documentary. And shortly after, we were given the trailer for Spurlock's sequel, Super Size Me 2, Holy Chicken.
Has fast food truly turned a corner? To find out, I could go back on an all-fast food diet. But something tells me this calls for a different approach.
I want to start my own fast food restaurant.
You're crazy.
Yeah. Tell me what kind of food.
The most eaten animal on the planet. Chicken.
And on February 27, 2020, it was uploaded to YouTube, this time exposing the world of how, pardon the pun, cutthroat the world of mass chicken harvesting is. He also shows us step by step how he created his newest project, the chicken fast food restaurant to end all chicken restaurants, Holy Chicken. Now don't get me wrong, I love a good Chick-fil-A sandwich and a Popeye's chicken sandwich is great as well, but Holy Chicken, based at their original restaurant in Columbus, Ohio, is a new modernized idea on what a chicken sandwich restaurant should be. The store is bright and vibrant and full of energy, and most importantly, they're not serving fried chicken sandwiches. Rather, it's a grilled crispy chicken sandwich available in regular or spicy, bringing in 860 calories to your diet upon consumption. So basically a fried chicken sandwich? Yeah, but don't call it that, and I won't feel so bad when I inevitably enjoy one whenever I eventually go through Ohio to see a race at Eldora. So, what in the world does this man's two brilliant projects have to do with NASCAR? Well, Morgan Spurlock is actually a die-hard NASCAR fan, and I noticed because as seen in scenes of Super Size Me 2, he is seen actually in a Darlington Raceway t-shirt and wearing a camouflage hat with the Homestead Miami Speedway logo stitched onto the hat.
These birds are bred to grow indoors. They're sort of like sissy birds. If these birds went outside, it'll be 120 degrees outside this house right here.
Right.
So they're gonna die from heat stress. Kill these chickens just in a few minutes.
Okay.
So, with that being said, Morgan, if you're watching, I know a NASCAR driver who just so happens to host a YouTube show centered around reviewing fried chicken nuggets. Ryan Vargas. Now, as I have read in an article by Eriq Gardner with The Hollywood Reporter posted on April of 2016, it's quite possible that the very existence of Super Size Me 2 and the Holy Chicken franchise could have been a project for another time, or perhaps may not have ever even happened had Spurlock been able to complete his dream project, which was set to show a never-before-seen high-quality look at the modern world of NASCAR. This was until the funding dropped off. So let's take a look at Mr. Gardner's article. Was Spurlock set to expose how horrible NASCAR Speedway food is? Come to think of it, as much as I love a Martinsville hot dog, what is really in those hot dogs? Maybe I shouldn't know. I'm likely going to both of the races this year. I honestly doubt that Mr. Spurlock was looking to go this route. After all, he said he was deprived the opportunity to make his dream project after spending 5 years on research and development. In a lawsuit filed in the Los Angeles Superior Court, Spurlock's Warrior Poets Incorporated claimed that Broad Green Pictures agreed to put up $5 million for a NASCAR documentary in which a written agreement was executed, funds were provided to start initial production, and a draft press release was ready to announce the project, but at the halfway point, Broad Green Pictures bailed out of their agreement. That is all word for word from this article. For Spurlock, having this project be given the green light was the opportunity of a lifetime, and this was after he had won awards already for Super Size Me. For him, he knew this would be his greatest work yet, showing the world a look into NASCAR with access to the sport and drivers in a way that we have never seen before. According to the article, Spurlock claimed that Victor Moyers, the company's president of productions, told Mr. Spurlock that BGP's principals had already approved the financing of the documentary's $5 million budget and were fully on board with the project, and that they were indeed making the movie. That, on top of $50,000 in advance to film scenes at the championship race at Homestead Miami Speedway, was enough to begin the filmmaking progress. In Spurlock's complaint, he said that he and his team were able to work with NASCAR drivers to have unprecedented access to their lives, their families, and their races. After being told numerous times by numerous parties of BGP, Spurlock claimed that he was caught incredibly off guard when the founder of the studio, Gabriel Hammond, informed Spurlock that they were pulling out for the reason being that it had never been greenlit and it had never been approved by BGP. Now, I know that a lot of people were not happy with the result of the 2015 Cup Series Championship, but did we really have to keep this production from existing? I also know that Spurlock has the background of exposing, but I trust that he would have done the sport justice, and it's a real shame that it appears he was cheated and lied to. Spurlock's company claimed that they were left with an unfinished film, saying it was too late to obtain a new financier and distributor, and that they were burdened with the bill for the salaries of the above-the-line production crew, and their lawsuit against BGP was for a breach of contract, fraud, negligent misrepresentation, promissory estoppel, and quantum meruit, and were demanding $2 million for each of these causes of action. Thank you, Eriq Gardner, for bringing this story to life. A link to his article is down below. It's incredibly unfortunate that we were robbed of Spurlock's greatest production being halted. It's quite possible that this could have exposed the world of NASCAR to people in the same way that our eyes have been opened to the world of fast food, and perhaps we may never know what his vision of the sport was unless an investor is willing to pick him back up. I still highly recommend you see Super Size Me 2 Holy Chicken. Take a look and learn some things you would have never known regarding the chicken industry, and while you're watching, just remember we almost saw the same quality production showing NASCAR, but until then, I guess DannyBTalks, Slap Shoes, and others will just have to do.
Successful in this business.
Okay, so what is behind this for you? What's your inspiration? What's your motivation?
Yeah.
Why are you wanting to do this?
Yeah, well, I think what I've seen in the last 12 years is there's been this big trend, this big push towards healthier fare, healthier options, and I said, if I'm going to focus on something healthier, I should already be focusing on the choices people are making, which is chicken.
Chicken. Exactly. So what is your home run for your restaurant?
What's the home run?
When the consumer walks away from your restaurant,
They tell everybody about it.
And what are they saying?
It looks different than everything else. It tastes different than everything else. And people look at it, it's like, oh, I trust that guy. That's someone like me.
Exactly. And have a story.
Yeah.
And most importantly, what does that mean from a food standpoint?
Every good restaurant needs a story. Burger King has the Whopper. Wendy's has Dave Thomas. And Subway has, well, you know.
Until next time, thanks so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you enjoyed my video, please give the video a like. It really does help my channel out a lot. If you're new to my channel, well, ordinarily I produce content like this in the form of my Rise and Fall series, as well as 5 NASCAR drivers you forgot about, in addition to my bi-weekly NASCAR news show, Danny B Needs a Minute, and occasionally I'll talk about an obscure NASCAR topic like this video. So if all of that sounds good to you, then I invite you to hit subscribe for all future content, and I'm also active on Twitter. You can follow me at DannyBTalks. As for Morgan Spurlock, Spurlock, while he would eventually drop the lawsuit, I hope that he doesn't give up on a NASCAR documentary. And I hope that Holy Chicken succeeds. I'd love to see one in the Nashville area, and in case he happens to see this video, I'm one of 4 hosts of a NASCAR weekly podcast here on YouTube, and I'd love to extend an open invitation for you to be a guest on the show and discuss the restaurant, your love for NASCAR, and perhaps what we missed in the documentary. Until then, this has been Danny B, and I hope you have a great day. Bye guys.